This is my life now. I guess not every story has a happy ending. My name is Emily Harrison. I'm married, but after my husband, Alex, who is 5 years younger than me, passionately pursued me. He wanted kids right away, and given my age, I agreed. But no matter how much we tried, we couldn't conceive. We thought it would happen quickly, but 5 years later, we were still without children. One day, Alex came home jubilant, announcing that his mistress was pregnant. Beside him stood a flashy woman. "What do you mean? She's pregnant with your child?" I asked, stunned. "Yes," he replied. "She's carrying my baby, just like I always said. There was never a problem with me. The issue was with you." He accused me of being the reason we couldn't have kids and declared he was done with our marriage. For the first 3 years, we waited, hoping to conceive naturally, but it never happened. We visited doctors together, but nothing changed. With each hospital visit, I felt more hopeless. Alex was determined to have his own child, and we started drifting apart. I thought maybe it was okay to just be the two of us, but Alex couldn't accept that. Suddenly, he wanted a divorce. I was blindsided by his sudden request. "I'm tired of trying and failing every month," he said. "I guess having a wife 5 years older just won't cut it." The woman clinging to him laughed, mocking my age and implying my womb was useless. They said such cruel things, making me feel like my dreams were crushed because I was older. Alex had the divorce papers ready. "So, you're just going to leave me for her?" I asked. "Yes," he said. "It's time to move on. You're defective. How long are you planning to cling to me?" He claimed I never thought about him and only cared about myself, saying I'd struggle without him. His words were harsh. He blamed me entirely for our inability to have children, saying hospital tests proved he had no issues, so the problem must have been with me. He declared, "I can't go on with you anymore. Let's end this for the sake of the child in her belly." Faced with this, I signed the papers. As they left, joyful and with divorce papers in hand, I felt the emptiness of our home. 2 years later, I stood in front of a cheap apartment, holding a baby. The building was old, with rotting doors and peeling wood. As I walked towards door 102, I saw a man coming out. It was Alex, looking exhausted. "Are you heading to work?" I asked. He seemed puzzled to see me. "It's Emily, your ex-wife," I said. He looked different, no longer wearing suits but work clothes. "Yeah, the company went bankrupt. I work in a factory now," he explained. Bianca, his former mistress, peeked out, looking drastically different from 2 years ago. She had gained weight and looked unkempt. At her feet was a little girl, who, though cute, didn't resemble Alex. "Is she your child?" I asked. He confirmed it, and then asked about the baby I was holding. "Oh, this is my child," I said. Bianca looked at me, disbelief clear on her face. "You were infertile, weren't you?" she accused. I calmly responded, "The infertile one was you." They were clearly shocked, but I didn't feel the need to explain. "I have a child, so the proof is there. Why are you here? Did you move into this apartment too?" Alex asked. "No, I came to tell you something," I replied. Bianca couldn't stay silent any longer. "You're the ex-wife, right?" "The woman from that time," she said. "The woman from that time. That's a bit harsh. Long time no see, Bianca. You've gained quite a bit of weight since having a child," I remarked. She retorted, "Of course, I'm raising a child. You'll be the same if that child is really yours." I chuckled, "My child, but who knows if I'll end up like you. You used to look so tired, now you seem relaxed. Thanks for taking him away." Alex looked uncomfortable, but I continued, "Seeing you, I realized I would have ended up like that if I'd stayed. I'm glad I got a divorce." "That's none of your business," Bianca shot back. "I owe you my beauty." "I should thank you," I added. What do you mean? She asked. You took him away so I could remarry. I met my current husband at the spa I frequented. Oh, and he owns it, I explained. Bianca looked stunned. A spa owner. So you're a CEO's wife now, she said. Exactly, I replied, pointing to a black luxury car with my husband inside. A chauffeur too. No way, she muttered, clearly frustrated. A woman changes with the man she's with, I said, smiling. She looked at Alex, who was now working in a factory, living in a rundown apartment. I remarried a year ago and got pregnant right away. This is the baby, I said, holding my child. That's impossible. You were supposed to be infertile, Bianca stammered. Like I said, you were the infertile one, I reiterated. That can't be true. How do I know if that child is really yours? She questioned. I gave birth to this child. Unlike yours, my child resembles both me and my husband, I replied. Children's faces change over time. It'll eventually resemble me, Alex insisted. I hope so, I said, raising an eyebrow. What do you mean by that? Bianca asked defensively. If you're fertile, the child should look like you, I said. It's impossible that the child isn't Alex's, Bianca said, panicking. You can't believe her. She might have borrowed a child or used a surrogate, she continued. Think what you want, I said, shrugging. That dress might not even be real, and the car could be a rental, she added, trying to undermine me. Well, I've only told the truth. If the child doesn't resemble you in 10 years, maybe you'll reconsider, I suggested. Alex looked taken aback. Bianca, you might meet a rich man if you remarry, I said before leaving. 3 months later, Alex called me. I put the baby in the crib and answered. Hello, I said. It's me, Alex, he replied. Oh, my ex-husband. What's up? I asked. I did a DNA test on the child, and it turns out she's not mine, he revealed. I see, I responded. There's a 99.9% chance the child isn't mine, he continued. So there's still a 0.1% chance, I asked. I don't know what to believe, he said, sounding defeated. Well, you were easily fooled when she said she was pregnant, I pointed out. She confessed. The child isn't mine, but she doesn't know whose it is, he explained. What a story, I said. She thought it would work out since I wanted a child so badly, he added. Indeed, I replied. So, what will you do now? I asked. Divorce, obviously, he answered. But the child thinks you're her father, I pointed out. How can I love a child whose origin I don't even know? Alex asked. Would you love the child if you knew who the father was? I replied. No, that's not it. I wanted a child of my own blood, he admitted. But you can't have one. If you separate now, you'll never be a father again. This child was born from your wife. Isn't that enough? I asked. It's not that simple, he said. You're stubborn, I commented. Call it what you want. The divorce is already final, he stated. Wow, that was quick, I responded. These things are better settled quickly, Alex said. Well, do as you like, I replied. How can I endure a poor life with a child that's not even mine? He continued. Your life is poor because of your low income, right? I asked. No, I was saving for the child. That's what any parent does. If I didn't have a child, I wouldn't have had to work near home. I wouldn't have taken a factory job, Alex explained. Yeah, in case the child got sick, you wanted to be close, I acknowledged. I try hard, but it was all pointless, he lamented. Depends on how you see it. If only you had told me the truth, none of this would have happened, I said. So it's my fault? He snapped. Of course. If you hadn't kept silent, I wouldn't have fallen for such a scam. It's all your fault, he accused. So you called to tell me it's my fault? I asked. That's right. Where else can I direct this anger? He retorted. That's incredibly selfish, I pointed out. I'm not at fault at all, he insisted. Keep telling yourself that, I said, hanging up the phone, frustrated by his selfishness. Even after our breakup, he remained the same. Maybe some hardship would do him good. A few days later, I decided to contact Bianca. Bianca, it's Emily, I said. Emily the show-off. You're just as rude as ever, she responded. Why do you have my number? She asked. Money can do a lot. Yes, I heard you're divorced now, I replied. Thanks to someone's unnecessary remarks, he got suspicious and checked. It's all your fault, she snapped. Fault? I can't help what you think, I said. What's done to me, I do back double, she said. That's harsh, I remarked. Yes, it's sad for the child. He keeps asking where Daddy is. He doesn't understand why he left, she explained. Well, it's hard for a 2-year-old, I acknowledged. I'm struggling to get him into daycare so I can work. It's all your fault, she continued. You're paying for your past now, I pointed out. What did you call for? To say that? She asked. No, I called to give you some good advice, I replied. Good advice, she repeated. You're struggling, right? Why not claim child support? I suggested. But the child isn't his, she said. It doesn't matter what the truth is. The law sees it differently, I explained. How so? She asked. Under the law, a child conceived during marriage is presumed to be the husband's, whether he's the biological father or not, I explained. Really? She asked, surprised. Yes, even if the parentage isn't recognized, child support is still a legal obligation, I confirmed. Interesting. She mused. You're struggling, right? Why not claim child support? I reiterated. I might just do that. It would be a loss not to claim it, she agreed. Absolutely. There's no reason not to use it, I said. Why are you telling me this? She asked. For the child's sake. You're raising him alone, right? It's obvious you'll struggle. I wanted to help. Not you, but the child, I clarified. Thank you. I'll try it right away, she said. It seemed Bianca believed me and decided to claim child support from Alex. This was my perfect revenge. A few days later, Alex called me again. Hey, Emily, he greeted. Oh, Alex, what's up? I asked. You gave Bianca some ideas, didn't you? He accused. Ideas about what? I feigned ignorance. Child support. I said I wouldn't pay since the child isn't mine, but now she's demanding it, he explained. I just shared information. She seemed so uninformed, I said. You're meddling too much, he snapped. Am I? I replied. Yes, now I have to pay $300 a month in child support. My take-home pay is only $1,400, and $300 goes to the child. That leaves me with only $1,100, he complained. I can do subtraction. No need to explain, I retorted. I divorced to avoid a life of poverty, but why do I have to pay for a child that isn't mine? He lamented. That's the law, I stated. But that child isn't mine, he insisted. Complain to your past self. Your past foolishness is to blame, I said coldly. Complaining to my past self won't fill my current stomach, he argued. True. What are you going to do about it? Complain to the law, not me. I didn't create this mess. And remember, you chose her. I get it. I don't have the money either. That's why I'm glad I left you. If I'd stayed, I'd be just as poor, tiptoeing around you. Now I'm facing poverty daily. What's your plan? I'm not doing anything. It's all self-inflicted. But still, I need money. How did it come to this? And where did your pride go? It's irrelevant when I'm struggling with no cash. You got rich after remarrying, right? So, it's thanks to me that you're well off. Not really. Then give me some money, $500. No, make it $1,000 a month. Your demands are rising, huh? Look, say what you want. I told her about child support to get back at you for what happened 2 years ago. My revenge worked. Help me out, will you? Alex kept begging for help, but I had no intention of assisting him. I hung up and blocked him. Alex then started taking extra jobs on top of his factory work to pay the child support Bianca demanded. He's been worn out, barely managing his job, and it looks like his tough life will continue until the child graduates from college. Desperate for cash, Alex moved from a 2-room apartment to a cheaper, supposedly haunted place. Despite rarely being home, he faces unbelievable and frightening occurrences whenever he's there. It's gotten so bad that he questions the point of even renting the place and often stays at motels, incurring extra costs. Meanwhile, Bianca uses the child support money not for the child, but to chase after rich men, copying what I did. She goes to beauty salons but doesn't change her hefty appearance, and no one seems interested. She still struggles and is often seen rummaging through discount items at supermarkets. As for me, thanks to my husband, I'm living a high-quality life. I'm enjoying time with my child and making the most of every day.